Let's take a look at common units and converting between units. Now normally you'll have questions with the metric units rather than imperial units, but you need to be familiar with millimeters, centimeters, meters and kilometers for the metric, and possibly inches, feet, yards and miles for imperial. For weight, it's grams and kilograms. For imperial, ounces, pounds and stones. And for capacity, so volume, milliliters and litres, or for imperial, fluid ounces, pints and gallons. I'd focus all your revision efforts on metric though. So these are some of the conversions you need to remember. Again, I wouldn't stress too much about the imperial at all. If there's any questions involving imperial units, then they will probably give you the conversion rates. But you're expected to know that 1 kilo is 1000 grams. 1 centimetre is 10 millimetres. 1 metre is 100 centimetres. A kilometre is 1000 metres. So the top one was for weight or mass. The next three were for length. And the bottom two are for volume. Really, all you need to know for volume is that 1 litre is 1000 millilitres. So remember, there are 1000 millilitres in a litre. And also 1 millilitre is the same as 1 cubic centimetre. Now you don't need to know metric to imperial conversions, you just need to be able to convert from one to another when you're given the conversion rate, but you'll often see that a kilo is approximately, that's what that sign means. It's a bit like the equal sign, but it's a bit wiggly, so it's not quite equals, it means approximately 2.2 pounds. A foot is approximately 30 centimetres, a gallon is approximately 4.5 litres, and a mile is approximately 1.6 kilometres. So convert 6 kilos into grams. So we need to remember that if we're going from kilos to grams, 1 kilo is 1000 grams. So if we're going kilos into grams, we are multiplying by 1000. So 6 multiplied by 1000 is 6000 grams. If we're going grams into kilos, we are dividing by 1000. So 2670, I'm going to put in a decimal point and a 0. We're dividing that by 1000, which means we're moving the decimal point 3 positions to the left. 1, 2, 3. So the answer is 2.67 kilos. A lot of these unit conversions require you to be really good at multiplying and dividing by 10, 100, 1000, etc. So here are some distances. So we know that 1 metre is 100 centimeters. So if we're going centimeters into meters, we are dividing by 100. So 800 divided by 100 is 8 meters. Here we're converting meters to centimeters. If we're going meters to centimeters, 1 becomes a 100, so that's multiplying by 100. So 5.2 multiplied by 100. If it helps, write 5.2 with some zeros so that you can move the decimal point 2 positions, so 1, 2. So the answer is 520 well, those zeros, but those zeros don't need to be there anymore. The answer is just simply 520 centimeters. Meters to kilometers, we know that 1 kilometer is 1000 meters. So meters into kilometers, we are dividing by 1000. So 460 divided by 1000, I'm going to write 460 with, well, I'm going to put a decimal point here, 0.0. I'm going to put some zeros to the left. We're dividing by 1000, so the decimal point is going to move to the left to make the number smaller, and we're going to move it 3 positions because there are 3 zeros in 1000. So 1, 2, 3, so it's going to go in front of the 4. So our answer is 0.46 kilometers. If you're struggling with this, you need to do a bit of practice on multiplying and dividing by units of 10. 8.7 kilometers to meters, kilometers to meters, we are multiplying by 1000. So 8.75 multiplied by 1000. Again, you might want to write 8.75 with some zeros so that it's easy to move the decimal point 3 positions, 1, 2, 3. So the decimal point goes there. So our answer is simply 8750 meters. So we know that 1000 milliliters equals 1 litre. So if we're going milliliters to litres, we are dividing by 1000, and if we're going litres to milliliters, we multiply by 1000. So millilitres to litres, we are dividing by 1000. So 1200 divided by 1000. So the decimal point would be here. So we're moving it 3 positions to the left. 1, 2, 3. So it's going to go between the 1 and the 2. So that is 1.2 litres. 0.5 litres, 0.5 to millilitres is times by 1000. You might want to write it as 0.5000, just add an arbitrary number of zeros, and we know we need to move the decimal point 3 positions, 1, 2, 3, so it's going to go here. So the answer is simply 500 millilitres. Although when you think about it, 0.5 litres, that is half a litre, half of 1000 is 500. So make sure you're competent at multiplying and dividing by 10, 100 and 1000, particularly when there are decimal points involved. Pence into pounds is quite easy because we know that £1 is 100 pence. So pounds to pence times by 100, pence into pounds dividing by 100. So £11.65 in pence, multiply that by 100 is 1165 pence. I don't know why you'd ever really need to do a calculation like that though. And 83p in pounds, divide that by 100. 83p is 83.0. Put some zeros in so that we can move the decimal point in 2 places to the left. So it goes in front of the 8. So that's going to be £0 and 0.83. So here we're converting from metric to imperial. So we know 1 mile is 1.6. more or less, and we just want to convert 8 miles. So that's 8 times as many miles, so that's going to be 8 times as many kilometers. So it's simply 1.6 times 8, and that comes to 12.8 kilometers. If 1 kilo is approximately 2.2 pounds, and we want to convert 20 kilos, that's 20 times more than our conversion rate, so we need to multiply the 2.2 by 20 as well, and that comes to exactly 44 pounds. With slightly harder ones, well actually this one's not much harder, so here's an example of a question. So 23 miles, we know that 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers, so 23 miles is simply 23 times greater than 1.6. So 23 multiplied by 1.6 comes to a total of 36.8 to the nearest kilometre. Let's call that 37 kilometres. Now the second one is much more challenging because kind of running out of space here. I'll just write it up here. So 1 kilo equals 2.2 pounds, and we want to work out 220 pounds. Now the difficulty is we don't really know how many times greater 220 is than 2.2. So what we can do, 2.2 multiplied by something gives us a 220. So therefore, if I divide 220 by 2.2, that we get the answer 100. So 2.2 multiplied by 100 gives us a 220. So therefore, we need to multiply the 1 kilo by 100 as well. And that's quite easy. 100 multiplied by 1 is 100. So to the nearest kilo, well, we don't even need to worry about that because it's exactly 100 kilos anyway.